Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of fixing up this STA realistic STA 2280. And I want to recap of what I did last time. Replaced all the capacitors on the power supply slash amplifier board and replaced or added a new heatsink that's larger to this power regulator. Pretty much I figured out why this power regulator gets so hot. Its opening voltage is to take 30 volts and take it down to 15, and 30 volts is its maximum. Maybe it was 5 volts. I think it's 5 volts. Takes it down to 5 volts, and it can go up to 30 volts and be able to regulate. And the thing of it is, it's delivered 30 volts, so that's why it gets so hot. It was hot to begin with when it was brand new. Anyways, one of the other things I fixed up on it was I straightened out the bracket for these tone controls. It was all bent up like this because of the weight of falling. Bent the front panel, and it also broke off this headphone jack. Broke it off right here. Right now, I was able to kind of just shove it in place while putting this adapter on it. So as long as this doesn't get pulled out, it's okay. But I salvaged this out of another unit, and we're gonna see if it can put it in. Alright, we got the front faceplate removed. See, here's some little wires and stuff that had to be removed. Yes, this is my bed repair bench. But right here we are, and it looks like it's the same deal. See how I got a pin out right there. Be those two pins there, and this one right here. Alright, get the soldering gun and see what we can do here. Alright, use the old solder sucker. Just heat them up, stick them on there, and suck the solder right off. This guy should just pop right out of there. A lot easier to do with two hands. See if the new one just slides up in there. Well, new to this thing anyways. There it is. All I gotta do is solder them back up. Alright, got it all soldered back up. Alright, we got the front all back on. Cleaned up the knobs and buttons and stuff while I was at it. You know how they get the little stuff you can't reach. And there it is, all nice and installed. Here's the old one. Two-piece old one. And now we got this little deal here. Perfect. Should work just fine. Test it later. Alright, so next up we'll work on straightening up the top and the bottom and making some wood sides. Alright guys, got some things done with this thing. Making the sides, making new sides. I made two attempts. Basically I cut some slats out of some skids. First time I found some oak slabs on a skid. Looked like nice pieces, and as soon as I cut them off, they warped. And then I had another set, I think they was poplar, I think that's what they were, and cut those off, and they stayed straight after I cut them off. Sanded them all down. It was super flat. I had them nice and sanded, and I stained them. And then, now mind you, both these skid pieces I got outside. But anyways, like a day or so later, they warped really bad. I mean, like, they warped, you know, kind of hard to describe with one hand, but you know, they warped right here a lot, like 1/4 of an inch. So that makes these things here better than those. The top and bottom turned out super nice. Basically, I laid them on a sheet of concrete and laid a towel down and used a rubber mallet on them. And this one here was super bad right here. You can just see where I've been smacking it with the rubber mallet. Now it's super flat. So, I mean, for now I'm just going to put this together with the original sides. Call it a day. But, that was something else I've been playing around with. I might as well just talk about a little bit. But working on building a set of speakers. This is a small set. And pretty much I'm just making them out of stuff I have laying around. I'm building a giant set, which is behind me. I'll show you those here. Alright, so here's the giant set so far. These things are 40 inches tall. So I got a 15 and a 12 and a horn. A couple of ports in the bottom, and then I got a roll of carpet. That's a 45-foot roll of carpet that goes on these things. Cheapest way to get it was that much carpet. So anyways, the smaller boxes are basically made from the scraps because it took 3 sheets of wood to make the big ones, but at the same time there was enough material, you can see here, here's the other one, to make a smaller set. One thing as I did buy these for this project. These are Paizo Horns, and these are full range speakers from a surround sound system, and I just wanted them to be able to play mid-range and also be able to handle a wattage, basically, so they needed some kind of crossover. I got it right here. Here's the crossover I'm going to use in the things, the smaller set. It's two-way, so you got horn and woofer, but I wanted a mid-range, so we're going to use these. And I used 22 microfarad 63 volt capacitor. This is your standard electrolytic. You're supposed to use non-polarity. So you could use a film capacitor or one of these. Let's see here. Let's see. I can't. There. NP non-polarity. Supposed to use one of these, but so far I have cranked the crap out of that thing, and I haven't popped the cap or burnt the speaker up yet, so, or kicked my receiver out. It hasn't done any of those things, so I've already played it louder than what I'm just going to get played probably in this house. This small set's going to be in my house, and I live in a trailer park, so I can't play it that loud. I'll show you the tweeter or the mid-range sound.
Only hard part figuring out which way is easier. That little horn, by the way, that's about it for me on New Year's Eve. That's about all I do. And that's it. And by the way,
so you can see there, just mid-range comes out. And watch.
New Year's and I get my butt in bed.
Bass will be unresponsive.
I got 3 kids under the age of 10. New Year's Eve. I don't want to be a party pooper, but New Year's Eve.
And it does just a little bit. Now watch this. Here's mid-range.
Restaurants and bars are triple the price, and those little eyes at my house are going to be up at 6:30. No,
so it's the most responsive on the pass it's on. Trouble's effective as well, but
that's why I tell Fox, I'm like, yeah, man, I'll work. Just get me in here. I got nothing going on tomorrow night. Maybe a little dinner, and we'll watch the ball drop in New York, and that's a wrap. 10 o'clock at night.
So yeah, then bass not very much responsive because it doesn't really accept those frequencies.
Joins us now. I've been looking forward to this all day long. This Rousey fight has got
so I already had this set up as a mock-up with a woofer sitting here slamming away, and this guy here, and this guy doesn't even move with the mid-range just getting. I'll show you real quick with the tweeter setup. Alright, so here's the Paizo Horn, and it is in series with a 20 watt 20 ohm wire wound resistor. To mind you, this is going on the crossover, but the crossover was designed for a wire wound tweeter. So, and it just makes this thing here chirpy as crap. I mean, just chirpy, too chirpy, kind of annoying. So this right here kind of cuts her down some, but the whole setup comes out to around 6 ohms. Pretty much the woofer I think is like 4.5. This is 8, but when you have this capacitor on here, it doesn't read anything, so it's only an active ohm probably when it's driving it, so it's kind of hard to measure it. And this right here basically just picks up high frequency. It doesn't, I think this right here is where part of the ohms is probably switching out to make that woofer more acceptable, closer to 8 ohms, but this inductor right here. Anyways, we'll get this guy back together. I'll make a shot with it all assembled. Kind of what this story is all about anyway, is this guy. Alright, since I showed a little bit about that mid-range and the capacitor, I kind of wanted to show you guys, for anybody who might be interested, on what you're going to be looking at if you try to do something like that. The lower the capacitance, see, we got 3.3, 2.2, and then we got 6.8, 10, 15, 22, 33. The more capacitance the capacitor has, the more mid-range and bass you'll get coming through that full-range speaker. And the lower capacitance, the more tweeter-like it'll be. So, I mean, for a mid-range speaker, really don't do bass very well, and it don't do tweeter very well, you know, really sharp highs. So, I mean, trying to use it as a tweeter really don't work very well. And then, but yeah, I just thought I'd show a little bit more on that. Oh, and also for wattage purposes too, you really want to stay up around, for 40-50 watts per channel, you want to stay somewhere around the 50 volt range at least. And then if it's 100 watts going to be going into it, you might want to lean more towards the 100 volters, so you don't pop the cap or burn it out. So yeah. Alright, so it's all put back together. Top's pretty nice and flat now. Too bad we didn't get them sides done up nice. This thing's got a little mark right here. I mean, it's not perfect anyways, but at least now it works. And I've played around with it quite a bit, playing around with these speakers, so it's working great. So that's mainly the thing about it. And what's so cool about these is they can run a 4 ohm load, so a lot of new stuff you just can't do that. Mid 90s and up, I mean, you just can't do it. So yeah, well, I'll get another shot in here. I'll finish those speakers up, and we'll have this thing jamming them. Alright guys, got the unit all back together, sitting up here, ready to go. And yeah, it's got them kind of busted up sides on there, but I couldn't produce anything that was any better, so with materials I got laying around anyways. Here's the speakers all assembled. Now I'll go over to the other one, you can see it. And here's the other one. This one here had a bubble was poked in, and I managed to get it back out, but it's kind of wrinkled still. But these speakers here is just pretty much made out of just stuff laying around. So here's the music. It's the stuff you can play on YouTube from bensound.com. So if you're interested, you can go there and get music that you can play. These things jam. But you know how it relates to, you know, this camera picking it up, and how it gets relayed to you, and how, you know, whatever sound source you got playing it back depends on how it's going to play. But this thing works really nice, and thanks for watching.